In the land of Umudim, a young stepmother walked into a family where she was not wanted. But what her husband's children never expected was the sacrifice that would one day save them all. This is the story of Adaora, the stepmother's choice. Welcome back to African True Life Tales by Ada. If you are new here, subscribe for more powerful African stories. Chief Emeka Nwoke was a respected man in Umudim, a successful trader in building materials. Behind his wealth, however, was a deep wound. 3 years earlier, he had lost his wife, leaving him with 3 children to raise alone. For years, Emeka lived quietly. He refused to remarry, even though friends and relatives advised him to. But everything changed when he met Adaora. Adaora was a slim young woman in her late 20s, graceful and polite. She came from a neighboring town, and what caught Emeka's attention was her humble spirit. Soon, talks were made, and before long, she became his wife. The day she was brought home to Umudim, the whole village buzzed. Neighbors peeped through their windows. Women on their way to the stream slowed down to watch. Gossip started to fly, even before Adaora stepped into the compound. Look at her, so young, someone whispered. She must have come for his money, another one added. Well, we shall see if she lasts, a third voice concluded. Inside the compound, Emeka's 3 children sat on the veranda, waiting. Chiamaka, the eldest at 16, had inherited her late mother's fiery spirit. Her face was stern and unwelcoming. Ebuka, 12 years old, restless and playful, avoided eye contact. Oluchi, just 9, held her rag doll tightly, her innocent eyes filled with suspicion. Emeka cleared his throat proudly. Children, this is Adaora, my wife. From today, she will be part of this family. Adaora knelt slightly, her voice calm. Chiamaka, Ebuka, Oluchi, I know I cannot replace your mother, but I promise to love you and care for you as my own. Her words met a wall of silence. Chiamaka finally spoke, her voice sharp. Papa, it has not been long Mama died, and you bring another woman here? She can never be our mother. Ebuka muttered quickly. We don't need her. Little Oluchi whispered. Mama Ngozi said stepmothers are always very wicked. Adaora's smile wavered, but she kept her voice steady. I understand it will take time, but please give me a chance. The children turned away. That evening, she cooked a fine meal of bitterleaf soup and pounded yam. As the aroma filled the house, Emeka smiled with pride as he tasted it. But when the food was placed before the children, they refused to eat. Chiamaka pushed her plate aside. We don't eat strangers' food. Ebuka added quickly. Maybe she wants to poison us. Oluchi followed her siblings, hugging her doll tightly. Adaora swallowed hard, fighting back tears. She quietly gathered the untouched plate. Emeka slammed his hand on the table. Enough! Adaora is my wife. You all will respect her. But the children stormed off, leaving Adaora to sit alone with her pain. That night, as the compound grew silent, she knelt by her bed and whispered a prayer. God, give me patience. One day, these children will see my heart. But Adaora's trials had only just begun, and what followed would test her patience to the limit. Weeks passed in Umudim, but Adaora's welcome into the Nwoke household did not improve. She tried her best to show care, baking before dawn, sweeping the compound, preparing meals, even helping with homework, but the children remained cold. Chiamaka, especially, was the hardest. One afternoon, when Adaora asked her to help with the chores, she snapped, "Why must you bother me with errands? Leave me alone. You are not my mother. Stop pretending." Adaora swallowed her pain and continued her work silently. Then a greater storm arose. Chief Emeka, who was once strong, fell ill. It started with a mild fever, but within weeks, he could barely leave his bed. His booming voice that once commanded respect in the market was now reduced to weak groans. The doctor advised him to be admitted, but money became a problem. Bills piled up. Relatives who once ate freely in Emeka's home began to avoid the family. Let his new wife handle it, they whispered. Adaora tried to speak with the children. "We need to buy your father's medicine. The doctor said it is urgent." But Chiamaka frowned. "So where do you want us to get the money from? Don't look at us." Adaora sighed. "Well, I will sell some of my jewelry. It will cover his medicine and your school fees." Instead of gratitude, anger fled. Chiamaka hissed. So this is your plan, to take over Papa's property. We knew it." Ebuka added, "Yes, she wants to control everything." Oluchi whispered, "Mama Ngozi was right." Adora's heart broke. Even her sacrifice was seen as wickedness. That night, as she sat by Emeka's bedside, she held his weak hand and whispered, "Do you know what? I will not give up on you, and I will not give up on this family." Yet, even as Emeka's health failed, the children's hatred only grew stronger, and soon Adaora would face the hardest decision of her life. Emeka's condition worsened. The hospital demanded a large deposit before beginning proper treatment. Adaora felt trapped. One evening, she opened a small wooden box in her room. Inside were her few treasures: gold earrings from her mother, wrappers she had saved for years, and a necklace she cherished. Tears filled her eyes, but she knew what she had to do. The next morning, she walked to the goldsmith. "I need to sell this," she said quietly. The man examined them. But they are fine pieces. Are you sure you want to sell this?" Adaora nodded, her voice trembling. "Yes, it is for my husband's life." After she sold her jewelries, she took the money and went straight to the hospital and paid the deposit. Immediately, doctors admitted Emeka and began treatment. When she returned home, the children confronted her. "Where did you get the money?" Chiamaka demanded. "Answer me! Did you sell Papa's land?" Adora's eyes filled with tears. "No, I sold my jewelry and wrappers. I didn't touch any of your father's property." For the first time, the children were silent. Days later, word spread in Omodim. "Have you heard? It was the new wife who paid the bills." Some praised her, others still doubted, but everyone was surprised. Back at the hospital, Emeka held her hand weakly. "You saved me. Thank you so much," he whispered. Adaora had given up her treasures for love, but would the children finally see her heart, or would they continue to believe the gossip of Umudim? Weeks later, Emeka recovered and grew stronger. He could sit up, eat, and even smile again. Meanwhile, in the compound, the children began to notice Adaora differently. They saw her wake before dawn, sweep, cook, visit the hospital, and return home tired, but still caring for them. One night, as Adaora placed food on the table, Chiamaka whispered, "Thank you for saving Papa. We misjudged you, and we are deeply sorry for that." Adaora froze, tears in her eyes. "Thank you, my daughter," she whispered back. A few days later, Ebuka came shyly. "Mama Adaora, I'm sorry too." She smiled, touching his head gently. "I forgive you." Even little Oluchi clung to her, asking for help with homework and following her around. By the time Chief Emeka returned home, the house was no longer filled with quarrels. That evening, the family sat around the dining table, laughter rising for the first time in years. Emeka looked at his wife and children, his voice heavy with emotion. "Adaora, you are not only my wife, you are the mother of this home." The children nodded. Chiamaka said bravely, "We judged you wrongly, but now we see your heart." Adaora wept openly, but they were tears of joy. And so, in the land of Umodim, the woman who was once despised became the mother of the home. Adaora's patience, sacrifice, and love had won the battle. This was true, the stepmother's choice. Dear friends, what lessons did you take away from this story? Share your thoughts with me in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoy this story, give it a like, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next story. Thank you for watching, and remember, every tale carries a lesson if only we choose to listen. Until I bring another true life tale your way, bye-bye!